Hi, everyone. Tony from Hack the Movies here. And today we're asking the very important question, what is the best Terrifier movie so far? Today on Hack the Movies. Hi, Casey. Oh, God, don't do that. You're too good at that. Don't do that.
I've been practicing.
Yes, Terrifier. I decided let's go all out. We were not going to do this episode. I did not plan on doing this episode. I didn't know part 3 was coming out in October, but it has gotten so big, I cannot ignore it. So surprise Terrifier episode, everyone.
Surprise! Yeah, we love the Terrifier.
You love the Terrifier. I also, I like it. We'll see where I land on it, really.
Right. Yes.
I am late to the whole Terrifier thing.
That's right, you are late.
So, but I knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've known about Terrifier. I knew about the movie All Hallows Eve, but I didn't watch it when it came out.
Gotcha.
I heard about it. I've seen the picture of Art the Clown like a million times, even though that was the original actor. And then I remember when Terrifier 1 was coming out, because we're not like friends. I used to know Katie Corcoran. Famously, we were bridesmaids in the same wedding.
That is so cool.
But I would see her at like Trauma, like when Trauma was at conventions
Yes.
and stuff. I'm like, we weren't like close or anything. But because I followed her all these years, I saw like this stuff about Terrifier.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll get around to watching that. And then I never did. But then Terrifier 2 came out.
Uh-huh.
And everyone, I think that's around the time me and you started talking.
Yes, it is.
Around, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like really hype on Terrifier 2. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to watch Terrifier 1 and then I'll watch Terrifier 2. And I watched Terrifier 1. And I'm like, all right, any day now I'm going to watch Terrifier 2. And then, 2 years go by and I forget to watch Terrifier
my gosh,
2.
you were missing out.
Even though, yeah, it's only gotten way bigger. And for some reason, like, it's something that's on my radar, but like,
It's so on your radar because they're at every convention we go to.
and that's the funny thing. So, yes, we've seen them around at Astronomicon. I'm pretty sure I walked past, what's his name? David Howard... Thornton, yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I walked past him in the Terrifier Art the Clown makeup. And at that point, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's that clown movie.
He was
that's
in the makeup and everything.
Yes. But yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, it's that clown movie that's going around. And like, that's the thing, I didn't even know the clown had a name.
Oh, come on, Tony.
It was just, I think like the time, because 2016 is when Terrifier came out.
Yep.
That was a very busy year for Tony.
Okay.
And then 2022 was also a very busy year for Tony. So yeah, I just think like it was just a coincidence. I kept missing it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just taken the world by storm.
It's blown
It
up.
is
And I think
everywhere.
that's why I have such a great fascination with it.
Yes.
Because it's so cool to see this indie film.
Yes.
Especially one that's shot on the East Coast with no big production companies. They
Literally.
didn't have to travel to LA to do this. They stayed in their hometown pretty much, traveled to where we are.
Yeah, I was about
And-
to say Terrifier 1 is literally 12 minutes away in Trenton.
Exactly.
Drove past
I don't know how we missed it. I wasn't here in 2016.
Yeah.
I remember watching the first one, and I had known of the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I think we just, like, the clown was everywhere, Art the Clown. And I had just moved back home, and my mom was in prayer group upstairs. And I was in the basement, and I was like, it was on Netflix. It came out on Netflix during that time. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to watch this movie. Because I've been wanting to see it. I've heard great things. And I loved it. I thought it was so good.
While
It was
prayer
like, no
group was
wonder
happening.
people love. Yeah, prayer group was happening upstairs, and I thought it was genius.
When we get to the third one, I want to talk about the whole Christian thing that's going around with it.
Oh yeah, because that's what. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what drawn me most to it.
I tried to sell the trilogy on another person we know, and he's not sold yet.
Is it the one who doesn't like anything?
No, it's Prison Mike. Like Prison Mike. Remember that movie I told you about?
Oh, I'd love to have a discussion.
Apparently, it's very Christian, and he was like, "No, it's not."
There is a part in the third one that had me like, yes.
So yes, let's talk about these Christian family films. So yeah, we will talk. We might revisit All Hallows Eve another time, but I will bring it up throughout this because upon rewatching it, they have little things sprinkled from All Hallows Eve into this trilogy.
I only caught the one, so
And we should mention just a little backstory on Art. It started off as a short film, The Ninth Circle, and then a short film called Terrifier. And
Right.
both those short films were put into All Hallows Eve, which is an anthology film. And having read that, it makes sense because like All Hallows Eve looks pretty good, and then you get to those two shorts, and they're clearly on like a different camera at like a poorer quality.
Right.
I'm like, why does this part of the movie not look good? And I read, I'm like, oh, because that was like 2009, and then everything else was like 2013 or whatever.
Yeah. And the director of that anthology, the guy
Damien
who
Leone.
the guy who put it together.
Oh, yeah.
The one, I guess whoever's behind it. I don't know if it is a producer or something.
I forget. Yeah.
Well, whoever's behind it, Damien Leone, said his shorts were on YouTube, and that's how they found him to
nice.
put it into the anthology. So, like, that was his start. All of his stuff was on YouTube.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Yes. And yeah, maybe I'll save it for the end. But people are talking about like, people are now gone back. They're like, how did this like blow up in a certain way? Whereas like the Hatch movies also did pretty good, but like, it's just, I think it was like the time it came out and like where we are now with like crowdfunding and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's what separated those two.
We got to dive more into
Yeah.
that too.
But yeah, let's start with Terrifier 1.
Yeah.
So Terrifier 1, this is where they get the new actor. Why did the original art not come back?
He didn't want to do it. It wasn't for him, and he didn't see it going anywhere.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but he didn't like the long hours and being in that makeup.
Is he just not like an actor at all?
No, he's not an actor. Damien Leone says it's his friend. It was just his friend.
Okay, all right. That is a little bit better.
Yes, and apparently he did like gain weight or whatever, and David Howard Thornton is just really what Damien Leone saw.
Yeah.
Anyway, like as how he wrote Art the Clown, but he did offer the part, but the guy just didn't want to do it. But he does go to conventions now.
I do
which is so cool. I would want to.
I do like that they go together sometimes too.
Yeah, I love that.
All right, well that's a little bit better now that he wasn't like really an actor, so that's like a little less.
No.
This isn't like the guy who left the Beatles before they blew up, or
I don't know who that is.
or like the original fourth member of Destiny's Child.
Oh,
this isn't one of those.
I have that album.
This isn't one of those situations.
No. And Damien Leone, before this big success, he was delivering flowers.
Oh, nice.
You never know.
I did see he did a film called Frankenstein versus the Mummy, or Mummy versus
cool.
Frankenstein. I didn't watch it. I think I said all we needed to say about Frankensteins and mummies and Mummy Cop. No, I should go back and watch it.
He would do those gigs on the side, but his main thing was delivering flowers.
So I popped this movie on, like, I watched it again recently.
Right.
I forgot it starts with, like, the disfigured woman. What's her name? It's
Victoria?
Victoria, yes. I remember, like, this was kind of, like, haunting the footage of the face all ripped up. It reminded me of that, like, tragic thing where the chimpanzee ripped that girl's face, and then Oprah interviewed her. And I remember being thrown off when I first put this on. I was like, what the hell? Where's the clown? But yeah, we get introduced to Art the Clown, who I'm learning now at this point is just a regular guy.
So we think.
So I've read, like, 'cause this series now has a very complicated lore. You wouldn't think of it for this film, but yes, there's a very complicated lore. But apparently Art in this movie is just a regular guy. Until a certain point, because he's actually like putting on the makeup in the beginning, whereas the other ones he's not really. He just has it on him. And then we meet our two characters, Tara and Dawn. This is Halloween night.
Mm-hmm.
The one is very, very drunk.
Hey, handsome!
Cut it out.
My friend wants your number.
They both are, apparently.
I mean, who hasn't been drunk and out in the city on Halloween? I've done it
a
many
city
times.
That's deserted.
A city that's very deserted.
Very Trentonish.
I mean,
Yes.
I've been drunk in Trenton at night. I've done it. I mean, not a
Don't
lot.
do that.
It was more reminding me of like in college around Temple, just being hammered around Halloween in a costume. I once remember I was wearing. Oh yeah, I was drunk. It was the year I was drunk, Mr. Tumnus. Everyone thought I looked like Mr. Tumnus in high school. The goat guy from Chronicles of Narnia, the one James McAvoy played. In high school, they thought I looked like him. The only time I ever looked like James McAvoy, and only when he was a goat man did I look like him. So in college one year, I just owned up to it. I remember just being like drunk, stumbling home, and I just hear like the sound in this alley. I'm like, what is that? And it was just my roommate like came out. He just happened to be there and he was wearing our curtains for the apartment. He was just like, oh, I need a costume. We had these shiny silvery curtains and he just took them off and he's like, Toad. I'm like, Mike, what are you doing here? we were in two,
That's so scary.
we were in two different parties. We just stumbled to each other while walking through an alley. I'm like, oh.
He never thought you'd know that he took the curtains.
No, I mean, I thought it was funny, but I'm just like,
I
that's your last minute Halloween costume. It's like rip the curtains off the wall.
Clever.
So yes, I relate to these people walking around.
I love their costumes.
Yeah. So what are they again?
A skeleton and a scarecrow.
Right. What you call it? Dawn is the scarecrow,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one's the skeleton. The other one, who was an actress who's in a lot of things now.
Yeah.
Maybe not like super big parts, but she was in Renfield, which we saw together. Because I did see people being like, it's a shame this girl didn't get as popular as the other one. And I go on IMDb, I'm like, she's in a ton of shit. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, like a lot of mainstream stuff.
Yeah, she's in a lot of stuff. They go to get pizza and they're being bothered by a clown. He's more of a mime, but is a mime a type of clown, I guess? Do we just group those together?
We are grouping it.
Yes.
He is the group.
Okay. Because he's more mimish. He doesn't talk.
And he looks so good.
He does.
He
does.
looks so scary, and then he'll be so happy.
He is very, very creepy looking. He's very upsetting to look at. Maybe that's what turned me off from watching this. I was like, I don't like that face.
Come on.
Also, I feel like, you know what? Around the time these are coming out, like, I think I just saved all the scary clown stuff for It, which was coming out. In retrospect, after that second movie, I made the wrong choice picking It.
Was it 2016?
The first one, I think, was 2017. And I
Okay.
believe the second one was 2019.
Gotcha.
I will say, now that I'm
Yes, I
remembering,
think you're right.
2016, that was that weird time where there were just clown sightings everywhere. Do you remember that?
I do.
I found a video that popped up where me and the guys I used to work with were at a diner and we just saw this clown
Shut
run
up!
in.
You experienced
And
it.
I filmed this clown. I'm just like, what? What was that? Why were there just
Why
random?
does this happen to Tony?
Was it like a viral thing? And then other people are like, I'm going to dress up like a clown and join in. I don't think it was like an organized thing.
I don't know.
Should we go out and start the trend
We
again?
have to go out like this. We have to.
Well, look, if you want to go to the dive bar, it wouldn't be the weirdest thing they've seen there.
I was just at Disney, and every day I'd be like, oh my gosh, do I look a fool? I'm like, the things I see people dressed here, never question yourself.
You dressed up like the monster from Monsters, Inc.,
I did.
which my nieces now think lives in their closet.
Oh,
But they're not
he's
scared,
nice.
apparently. I asked my sister, like, are they scared? They're like, no, they think, like, Mike and Sully are in the closet, and they asked for them to come out.
Wow, what a great childhood, though. What a good imagination they have. I love it. And I was Shrek.
You were
did a
also
Shrek
Shrek,
Disney back.
which Lauren Soda put a gun to my head and said, I have to do a best Shrek episode with her.
I have the ears. She can use them.
I'll let her know. She'll be like, yes. So he sabotages their car. They're waiting for their sister
Oh,
Victoria
yes.
because it goes back in the past. Because the beginning was 2017 with her all scarred, and then it goes back.
Shh. Are
What?
we spoilering?
Well, yeah, because it's
Okay.
pretty. No, it's mentioned in the
I
thing because they say
know.
her name and everything.
Just making sure.
So they're waiting to get picked up by Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
And Art just kidnap. Oh no, they don't. He doesn't kidnap them.
No,
He kills the pizza guys.
he does kill them.
They end up at like a weird rundown place.
Yes, because Tara has to go to the bathroom. For
Yes. Yes, which I mean, you just go in there. Again, this is something I've done in the city many times. Just go in any alley, you're fine.
Yeah,
you're fine.
for
You're
real.
fine.
I'd much rather do that.
Although, last Friday, driving back from Doylestown, I really needed to pee. And I don't know if you know this, but from Doylestown to here, there are no public restrooms on the one path that you take. And I was like, let me just pull over. That'll be fine. Because there's nothing but fields and corn. But on Friday night, there's also a million cars. And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. That was rough. In the city, it's fine. Just go in the alley. No one cares. No one
Now
cares.
people know where you are.
Whatever. So yeah, they have to pee. They insist on going to this place. This guy lets them in, who's
Yeah.
like the nicest character in the whole movie.
Yes.
I still don't know what this place is. It's not like an apartment.
It's not even an apartment building. It just seems like
The outside looks like an apartment or office, but the inside looks like a weird, like, warehouse-ish thing.
Yeah, with like cars in it and stuff.
And there's a crazy lady down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's beautiful, by the way. Like, she looks fine.
Yeah, I was in Manhattan yesterday. I know what crazy homeless people look like. They don't look like her.
Definitely not.
They don't look like her.
But Dawn stays in the car.
Yes. And then that's when Art gets her.
Yeah.
I did like that they took a selfie with him, though.
That was my favorite part. That was so cute. And then she like tries to take the hat off and then it slaps him in the face.
Yeah. But yeah, then a lot of the movie is Art like torturing them and hunting them. And now there's this iconic moment of Dawn upside down, naked, being sawed in half.
Yeah.
Which
didn't see that coming.
Which some journalists had issues with, and then she responded to. And then the third movie, very funnily, finds a very clever way to make fun of the criticism of this iconic scene.
I went to one of the Monster Manias at the Showboat.
Okay.
This was, I think, 2021.
Was it Monster Mania or NJ HorrorCon?
I don't know.
I think NJ HorrorCon.
Then it was that. Whatever the Showboat one was.
Okay.
And they were all there, and they didn't nearly have as long of lines because Terrifier 2 wasn't out yet.
Yes.
And so I went to the panel, and she was on it, and she was talking about how she was talking about her take on it.
Yeah.
And I was with my friend, who's a guy, but we were both like, I don't think it's a good thing for women that happened. We were just like...
I mean, she comes from the school of trauma. I mean, so...
Yeah, but we were just like, I don't know.
Although, this is what I think is helping.
Female empowerment or something she's talking about. How that was a female empowerment scene. I'm just like...
I don't know about female
I don't
empowerment, but it's definitely horrifying. It helps sell Art as like... This is the thing. This is one thing I'm really starting to like. Art is a bad guy.
Yeah.
He is a very bad guy. In a way that, like, I feel like some people are afraid to make their bad guys like they'll kill and do other stuff, but like... He is very vicious and evil. He is a literal demon. He does not care. He doesn't have rules or anything.
No.
Well, he's going to become a demon here. He's just a fucking mime with a bad going through a bad time, I guess. But he is very, very evil and bad. He's mutilating all these people. And also something different from a lot of killers, he'll use any weapon. He just straight up, and this is the one surprising part, is when he just shoots Tara.
I know.
I'm like, one, I'm not used to like a slasher using a gun, except the only ones I can think of are the ghost face, but only when they're out of the costumes, except for Scream 6. That's the one exception.
And I know a lot of people had like problems with that, calling him a slasher because he used a gun.
I don't know why the rule, like, I think it's just like Leatherface got real popular, Michael Myers got popular, and then everything else is kind of like a ripoff of that, sort of. So they're like, oh, you can only be a slasher if you use weapons and stuff. I'm like, all right, well, like, Freddy Krueger turns into a snake and eats people. I don't think there's, like, like, honestly, thinking about it right now, I can't think of many deaths with the actual claw. I'm thinking of him, like blowing up a guy's head.
Yeah. I just think of, like, Tina with the claw.
Yeah, her. But then other than that, I'm just like, oh, yeah, I remember he turned a guy into a Nintendo game and killed him.
And a marionette.
Yeah.
But I like how Dawn took the selfie with him, and then he took the selfie with her.
But yeah, that was a strong moment where he like killed Tara, because it was like, oh, there's
totally
like
caught off guard.
And people, that's the thing with like horror movies, like you tend to want to look for like a final girl or main character, but that you don't always need that, because sometimes it does kind of spoil the movie. You're like, oh, you know, she's gonna make it. Because like everyone, all right, so everyone really likes Ripley from Alien, right?
Right.
But if you watch that first movie, she doesn't feel like the main character until the end, because they don't want you to know who's gonna die. So that's what I think this movie did well. And I'm like, oh, I guess the other girl is the main one now. I was hoping for janitor guy to make it out.
Oh.
He deserved to live the most.
Okay.
But yeah, Art is like vicious and evil, and I kind of like that.
Right.
Because we're afraid to make villains too mean these days. And I wonder if that is like a studio thing. Because I remember like It Chapter 2, people were mad that Pennywise was like mean to the gay guys. And it's like, he's a spider demon from space. Like he's the bad guy.
He doesn't even know the difference, probably.
There's probably people who watch slashers where they're like, yeah, they're killing that character I don't like. I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's fun, but
Yeah.
bad guys are effective when they kill like people you do like and sympathize with.
Yeah.
Which Art, well, he does later on. All right, so eventually, you know, Victoria becomes the girl.
That poor girl, she just had to call her sister.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy to me. I can't even like put it together that that's the same person, Victoria, and then what she looks like with the mask. Like,
Yeah.
especially when we get into 3, like her voice and stuff. I'm like, how is this actress doing it? I can't even picture it.
I didn't realize it was like the same actress. I thought maybe that was like someone they like switched.
Nope.
But yeah, Art realizes, you know, his number's up. Just blows his brains out.
Right.
But then we get this cool ending where he somehow brings himself back to life in the coroner's office. But also, a year later, Victoria goes nuts and kills the the interviewer that she's talking to, who is the actress from All Hallows Eve,
Right.
the babysitter.
Yes. I
Um,
don't know if she's dead.
The
interviewer.
reporter? Oh, I don't know. Maybe they might have mentioned it actually in the other one.
Yeah, in one of them it says like she's in critical condition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we find out that something has happened to Victoria and she is now psychotic and Art is back to life. So now
How
there's
couldn't
like,
you be?
yeah,
I really shouldn't say that. But then also, it's so funny at the end of that movie, she's like, good luck in your interview. And like, she's with her parents.
yeah,
It's like, and they seem fine.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even seem distraught. I know we don't really see the parents, but it's like, you also lost a daughter.
yeah. I mean, it's a year later.
then
I
they're
mean,
not
I guess you
even
never get over it,
concerned.
but you know how to like control yourself.
I need to know what happened to the parents. I mean, I bet Victoria just killed them. But
Probably.
they're never mentioned again.
So yeah, that's Terrifier 1. Now, I mean, we talked about what we liked and we did. Well, we talked about what we liked. What do you like specifically about the film that we haven't covered? Because I'll talk about things I didn't like, but I want to hear it from you.
I
first.
think the cinematography was very good.
Yes, it's very low budget, which is fine. It is a low budget movie. That's actually one of my issues. Like it looks fine,
Oh.
but like that's part of one of the things I think is fascinating. I'm like, I've seen better looking movies than this that aren't anywhere near this popular. So I think that's what like threw me off.
Okay.
But no, relative to the budget they have, yeah, you're right. It's totally fine.
I think there's just really good set pieces in it and
Yes.
very good moments with Art. He's just like flawless, I think.
Yeah.
David Howard Thornton.
Yeah.
Like even when Tara like sees him again for the first time and he's just like frozen. And then you don't know when, you don't even know what's going to happen. And then he just moves. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
I do like a little wave, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like all that. I guess my problems, the acting's not the best from everyone, but again, budget considered. I don't think they expected this to be as big as it was, to be honest. I do like the gore. This goes on. This is probably a problem for the other two. Tends to go on a little too long. And I don't mean that as like, oh, that's disgusting, blah, blah. It's just after a while, like the bodies they're cutting up, they don't look like bodies to me anymore. They just look like rubber with corn syrup covered on them. I'm like, okay, all right. I'm like, we're starting to lose the effect here.
I think Damien Leone is so talented.
Well, he is a special
With that.
effects guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is his strong suit.
Yes.
Direction second, writing. I think it improves with each film, but
Yeah.
it can be very cringe.
Well, so that's my real main issue. So like I said, you don't need a final girl or main character or whatever. The problem is like, I just don't really care about these characters too much. So it was shocking when the one girl died, but then other than that, I'm like, well, I'm not really invested. I didn't really learn a lot about them. They just felt very generic, and then everyone else is kind of cannon fodder for Art.
Yeah.
And the main girl, I mean, the one at the end who becomes a big character in the others, like, it's like, oh, that's the sister, and now her face is ripped off. Okay. So it was hard to like care for anyone, which happens in a lot of slashers, but a lot of them don't start off that way. Usually like Halloween and stuff, they try to get you to care about the characters a little bit, and then they get popular and they're like, oh, look, Jason's going to freeze this girl's head. Isn't that funny?
The kill of the homeless woman got me most. I thought that was horrific.
Yeah, I guess so. That he wears her skin. Which I don't know. I feel like again he is a bad guy. Actually, no. These movies you probably could do it. I would say like 2 years. If this movie came out 2 years later, they probably would not have done that whole thing where he's wearing the woman's body and stuff. Like, But I like it. He's the bad guy. He's brutal.
And they also thought no one would see it. I also think that this movie, it's not long, but it feels long.
It feels like, again, like when you're not super invested in the characters, that can kind of happen where you're like, okay, all right. It comes out after this, but yeah, me and Monica talk about a newer movie recently that is actually very short and it feels like it's 5 hours long, but come back next time for that one. But yeah, so overall, I thought it was like okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
I didn't understand the hype around it. So maybe that's why I didn't really rush to finally see Terrifier 2. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it. I'm just
having like a flashback of when you told me to watch Cannibal Farm. And I'm watching and I'm like, no wonder he wanted to watch this. So good. That was my same thoughts with Terrifier.
Cannibal Farm should have 10 sequels by now.
It should. That movie, the twists and turns that we experienced with that.
Remember, Cannibal Farm was a Patreon exclusive, but I put it up for free on YouTube. I did that a while ago.
You're welcome.
I did put it on the audio feed recently, though. I've been I've been trying to make extra content on YouTube for people, but for the podcast feed, I'm like, I feel wrong that they don't have extra stuff. So I was thinking of like those like little bonus live streams I do where I go through like news and stuff once in a while. I'm like, let me just put those up on the audio feed. Why not?
There you go.
I did one with Gil. I reviewed Megalopolis with Gil and his brother for 3 hours. I put that on the podcast feed. He let me. It was for his show.
Is that who that guy was?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were lovers.
You met Gil.
I know, but he didn't say this is my brother.
Oh, yeah. Oh, a different brother. He has a lot of brothers.
But that is his brother.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's on the podcast feed right now if you want to hear us talk about Francis Ford Coppola's vanity project that lost millions of dollars. Fascinating film. So yeah, Terrifier 2 comes out 2022, right?
2022.
Just didn't get a chance to see it until recently.
I can't believe that.
But
and it's like, how did you avoid all those spoilers?
That's a good question. How did I? I knew stuff like I knew that Chris Jericho was in it, which
Of course you did.
Which in my mind, when I heard that, I'm like, oh, he must be a very big character. And I was let down by that.
Yeah, like
I knew, like, I saw all the images from it. I saw, like, all the memes that were coming out of it. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is, like, getting pretty big. And then when we did the first ever wrap-up, when me and Adam did the 2022 wrap-up, I had not seen it, but he was telling me about Terrifier 2. And this feels like stuff that he would not be into, but he kind of likes these movies a lot.
Oh.
So yeah, this is the one that made it big. And they did crowdfunding for this, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think they were asking for $50K and got like over $200K.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That is nice.
I think the budget was $250. And they made 12.5 million.
Yes, it was insane. Like they're like kind of changing the whole business model here.
That's why it's
and I feel like it hit
intriguing.
I feel like it hit streaming pretty quick too.
I remember seeing it in theaters, and then I could like rent it like immediately.
Yeah, but I feel like it was also streaming somewhere.
Screenbox.
Oh yeah, because it was like a Screenbox movie.
Yes.
Yeah. So I finally watched it.
Yeah. Because we had to see Terrifier 3.
And I'm like, all right, let me finally watch this.
I need to hear your thoughts. Or are we waiting?
Okay, no, we'll just go through like what happens in the movie. So yeah, it's
where these characters are from. And these.
Yes. The sunglasses. Art is now resurrected, picks up where the last one left off, pretty much. He rebuilds himself.
With the eyeball.
Yeah, didn't like that. Didn't care for that.
Yeah.
Didn't care for that at all, to be honest. But he's got to clean his outfit, so I feel like he goes to the laundromat, which is really fun. Some of my favorite stuff is just seeing Art not doing serial killer stuff, just like some of the mundane shit, just like walking around.
Yeah.
It was fun seeing him like, oh, I guess I'm going to do laundry now.
Right.
But then this is when we get the hint that something else is going on. there is now a little Art, a little lady Art. We find out what this is in the third one, I think.
The little pale girl?
Yeah. I feel like he explains the origin of the girl in the third one, right?
I thought it was the second one. Maybe it was a third. Maybe it was a third.
Yeah, because
but she's the first girl he killed ever.
That's who he's imagining. Okay.
Yes.
But it is apparently some other entity, and they are invisible
Yes.
because there happens to be one unlucky guy at the laundromat
Oh, I know.
who witnesses this. He's like playing patty cake with her, but it's like she's invisible. Also, it's funny seeing Art naked. I thought that was funny. Just like reading the paper, which is good.
Laughing at the obituaries and
Yeah.
whatever.
So yeah, for whatever reason, he was brought back to life, and now he sees this little girl. And then he kills the guy at the thing. But what's different about this one is we have new main characters.
Uh-huh.
We hear about Victoria and what she's done. We know about it
Right.
because this is a year later, like I said. But yeah, we get Sienna Shaw and her brother Jonathan, right?
Whatever.
And their mom. So they're a family.
Okay.
They had recently lost their father. It happened sometime in the past, but not too long ago.
Don't you love the opening scene with of Sienna? Of her, like the music.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I say this like a lot of episodes. I wrote a scene just like this, just saying with the wings and everything.
Yes. I like that she's into cosplay and stuff. Actually, this like really helps it make it feel modern because there are a lot of girls that are super into making their own cosplay.
Yeah.
I know a lot of them. And that is something relatable to a lot of girls right now. So I can see why like women, especially women who go to conventions and probably do cosplay, why they're really gravitating toward this character.
But can I ask who you thought of when you saw the costume?
With the angel. Well, I mean, I was thinking of like Angela from Spawn or Wonder Woman's got that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's got that golden eagle
Okay.
armor. Why? Who did you think
Me,
of?
right? Xena Warrior Princess.
Yeah, I see
thing.
that too. I see that too. A
Yeah.
little bit of Xena. I mean, those characters are all coming around the
Right.
same time. Yeah, so she is a very likable character. Whereas the last movie, I was like, eh.
I think she could use a little bit more depth, a little bit more meat.
Well, I think they're adding that
Yes.
into the series.
Oh, it's
yes.
getting there. But I would have loved to have seen just like, because she comes from a martial arts background
Mm-hmm.
in real life. I would have loved to see that in the movie and then have it pay off at the end.
Yeah.
Because it kind of comes out of nowhere. But I guess she has those powers.
Yes. Spoiler.
We'll see. Spoiler. Next.
But yeah, she's also like a Philly native.
Yes.
And I think the only other thing, I was trying to see if I saw her or anything. I think she played like a bit part in one of the Iron Fist seasons,
Yes, I
that
think
Marvel
you're right.
Netflix show. And her brother is like obsessed with serial killers
In the show. In the movie.
in the movie. Yeah, not in real life. I don't know if she has a brother in the real life, but in the movie, her brother Jonathan is obsessed with serial killers, and he's really like zeroing in on the Art the Clown stuff. Because I guess it's fresh. It happened near them. So
Yeah.
he's like psyching himself up about it. We're learning other stuff here that like apparently their father was an artist
Uh-huh.
who was into a lot of like, he drew like comics and stuff like that. But we learned that he was drawing Art the Clown.
Yes.
And
His victims.
yes, and they're wondering why. And now it's kind of implied that he was getting some kind of like supernatural thing getting him to draw that. And having
Right.
watched All Hallows Eve,
Oh.
in the alien segment, the girl is talking about how her husband is an artist. And she's like,
Oh.
I hate this new painting he made. And they're like, what's wrong with it? And she's just like, it looks nothing else like anything else he's done. And he just says he doesn't know why he painted it. So I feel like that was like an idea in that they then put in here.
That's good.
Where there's some, because the painting in All Hallows Eve ends up being Art the Clown.
Ooh, I have chills. That's like the scene in The Conjuring 2 when he's painting the nun.
Yes, yes. So yeah, it reminds me of that,
Chills.
where there's some kind of supernatural force that's like somehow influenced their father before he died to.
You're gonna have to walk me to my car. I'm scared
Should I wear the Art the Clown suit?
now. We're gonna skip.
So yeah, so we get a lot of interesting backstory. We're getting to know this family. We're getting to like them. We learn more about Sienna and her friends.
This is what they used the crowdfunding money for.
Okay.
It was for the clown cafe scene.
Oh, right.
Personally, I could have done without it.
Food's a little funny at the Clown Cafe.
But that song's catchy.
I think me and another guy have the same opinion. Some scenes in this movie go on a little too long.
Yeah, it's 2 hours and like 20 minutes.
Yeah, and this, it didn't need to be. There were some of these where I'm like, you could have trimmed a couple minutes off of this.
Yeah, but
You're right. I
edited
forgot
it.
about the dream sequence. Yeah, which again is also very brutal because he basically does a mass shooting.
Yes.
Wait-
And a lot of the people who were backers of the crowdfunding are in that scene.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And I guess that rubbed people the wrong way. And it's like, well, because he's like machine gunning people.
Oh
and
my
it's just
gosh.
unfortunately, that's what happens in real life. Why can't a bad guy in a movie do that?
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I like about art. He's like bringing slashers like
He's a realist.
into the modern era of like what we
Yes.
find scary, and that's something we all find scary. It's just a guy
Yeah.
unloading, and it's like, oh, why not see it in the film? It's like they kind of made fun of it in Halloween 2018. I remember the kids are talking about like the original murders, and the kid's got a good point. He's like, alright, he stabbed a couple people like 40 who like the worst shit happens every
Yeah.
day. The worst shit happening every day is Art the Clown now.
Yeah, it's so true. Though.
Yeah, that is like a rough scene because it looks like a kid's TV show.
Yeah.
They're all being brutalized.
Yeah, and then her wings burn, so she has to go get new wings at
Yes.
the store called Abracadabra in real life.
Yes, which is where, by the way, I thought these glasses were a bigger part of the movie. They're literally just in one scene.
Yeah. And they didn't even specially make them.
Yeah.
They just bought a ton of glasses, and this one was the one that appealed to them most, and now they're so popular. But they did that scene in inspiration from Pee-wee's Big Adventure when he's doing all the weird glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at the girl.
Again, this is the art stuff that I like, just him being wacky.
Right.
Can you do could they make like a joke edit where it's like a G-rated version of Terrifier? And
I'm
it's
sure
just,
there's one
and
out
it's just
there.
art being wacky, but all the violence is kind of like I know they did that with like Deadpool 2 a few years ago. They did a Merry Little Deadpool where he's
Oh.
reading to Fred. You've seen Princess Bride, right?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah, they were Deadpool's telling the story, but it's
Yeah.
like PG-13. I went that with Terrifier, just
Mm-hmm.
Terrifier told, but G-rated. It'll be great. So yeah, she has to get the new wings, and then her friend.
What? Well, we got the killing
Yeah.
at the store.
Yeah,
Don't
there's a
forget
killing
that.
at the store.
But remember, he puts the close sign on.
Yeah.
Whatever, and then a kid and his mom want to go into the store. Well, that mom is from Halloween 4. She's the blonde devil in Halloween 4.
Oh, you mean Halloween 5? That was the one with
Yes,
the blonde
Halloween
devil.
5.
Yes. I did not.
The one we just watched.
I did not pick up on
Yeah,
that.
it was her because when we were doing Halloween 4, I Googled her.
Yeah.
And it's a Terrifier, too.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, who the heck is she in that?
You
And
just
that's
said
who she
4
is.
again. 5. The episode is what is
Oh
the
my
worst
God.
Halloween 4
I've just gotten 5 out of my mind.
because. Well, it is confusing because it is Halloween 5, but it is the 4th in the stories.
That's
why
why I'm
it's
getting
confusing.
it confusing. Yeah, but then I looked it up and she plays the mom.
Oh, that's
who
cool.
she is. Yeah,
I didn't
cameo.
realize that. There are a lot of cameos. Of course, I can never not see Felissa Rose.
Yeah.
I saw her right away.
She should have been longer.
Yeah, I was shocked she was not in this
'Cause
longer.
they list it's on her like posters now. So
Oh yeah, so the brother also has some kind of supernatural ability because he can see the little pale girl.
yes.
Yes. We don't know what's giving, well, we find out what's giving Art his supernatural powers in the third one, but we don't
Right.
know what's really giving them their powers.
I know. And he sees them, Art the Clown and the little pale girl playing with a possum, a dead
Yeah.
possum. That was a real possum.
Well, it's easy to find them.
Ew.
So yeah, he's getting visions. I think he gets accused of killing the possum.
Yeah.
He gets pinned on it. The mom's not happy about it.
She is so angry the whole movie. And I
Yeah.
liked her in the beginning. Like, I thought it was realistic. But then
Yeah.
she's just like, oh my God, it's just too much. Like,
She's also not thrilled with Sienna's costume.
at first.
Yeah, I like it.
Your tits are practically popping out.
So many guys like it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like it as much as they do, probably, but I'm like, yeah, it's a cool costume.
Yeah, it is.
And then Sienna has a friend named Allie.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one that got you, right?
Her name is, that is her. Her name's Casey in real life.
Yeah.
This is the scene. I remember watching this scene,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, why do I like this stuff? I questioned everything. Like, I almost gave up
I feel
horror.
like we did a commentary. Maybe it was Dracula. I'm like, why do you like horror? It doesn't seem like that'd be a thing.
I know. And then I called my mom on the way home. Like, that movie made me want to call my mom.
I'm shocked this scene.
Just like Barbie did. I say that in the Barbie episode, something about Terrifier too.
Well, I remember you you kept hinting that there was a scene that like really got to you.
Yes, it was that.
Oh, I assumed it was going to be the poop room scene.
Oh, no.
But yeah, because I watched this, I went, oh, okay.
Totally.
I get it's a horrifying thing, but again, for me, it just feels like it just goes on a little bit.
I think just how mean-spirited Art the Clown is with that bleach and salt.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
That's torture.
He's really
That's finding
torture.
pleasure in torture.
Yeah.
And then to completely, what's the word? What is it when you're just like at a chicken?
Skin or
turkey?
mutilate? Or...
Yeah. Yeah, just having fun with the body.
Yes.
And then she's still alive and says, Mom? Yeah, no.
It's pretty horrifying.
And you should have seen my boyfriend Ian's face after that. Literally, I have a picture of it. And I still couldn't even watch it, but I'm like trying to see what his reactions. And then the next day, the first thing he says in the morning, I'm not seeing Terrifier 3.
And then we all saw Terrifier 3. I thought, when you were like, Ian's coming, I'm like, oh no. I'm like, oh, buddy.
He had no choice. I said, we have to see it or we have to see it on vacation. Now or never. I mean, now or on vacation.
I felt that. I apologize because I was just like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey, now he sends me tons of Art the Clown stuff, so I think he's growing on him. Also, the Ice Nine Kills song, we're obsessed.
I didn't listen to it yet.
Have you seen the video?
No, I didn't watch
We
the
should
video
watch
yet
it.
either.
Can we watch it when we're done?
But yeah, huh?
Can we watch it when we're done?
Yes, I also want to show you a trailer for a movie that's coming out because I'd like to give your opinion on it.
Okay.
It's ridiculous. It's playing in one theater within 100 miles of us. So, like, the storyline here is, like, she's at a party.
There's tilapia fillets down here.
You know what's funny? Monica pointed it out, too. That's just a box I used for moving. That's not really...
I'm sorry.
There are Godzilla toys in there for the twins. That's not really...
I love that I see something new each time. Tilapia fillets.
So she gets high at the party. The brother, like, does he escapes. He leaves the house because he gets punished.
But, okay, yes, he runs away.
Yes, and then the mom gets a shotgun to the face.
Whew.
That is creepy when Art's just sitting in the car, like, really
He's
still.
so creepy.
And he's just like, boom. I'm like, oh, God.
Blown that face open.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
So the rest of the film is like Sienna has to save her brother.
Uh-huh.
He has...
But...
What?
Come on. After that, the mom... Yeah, so after that, Jonathan returns home.
Yeah.
And then sees the mom at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
And out comes Art serving mashed potatoes in the mom's blown up head.
I will say this part didn't hit me as hard because I recently watched another movie with someone's mom whose face was caved in at a table, and that was Human Centipede 2.
Oh.
We reviewed it.
Oh my gosh. I watched the reviews because I can't
well,
watch those movies.
That's the thing. Like, those movies I feel like are, well, especially 2, is definitely more brutal than these. They feel more realistic than these with the violence and stuff. Yeah, Human Centipede 2. I can't wait to never watch Human Centipede 2 again. I'm going to have to watch Human Centipede 3 soon.
Ew.
I don't think I ever saw it.
Is that the prison one?
That's the prison
Ew.
one. So yeah, he finds the mom all messed up. And then does Art, sorry, because I've only seen this once. Art is the one who takes him to the Terrifier, right?
The Terrifier.
Which is a
theme
haunted
park
house.
attraction.
And now these scenes, by the way, I knew about these scenes because they filmed at Philadelphia's Fright Factory, or at least some of it was filmed at Philadelphia's Fright Factory. I spent a lot of time, well, I filmed like 2 videos there, and I spent a lot of time filming videos there. So I knew about that going in. Like, I had seen pictures of Art in the bathroom with all the poop everywhere. I'm like, I know that bathroom. What is it? When I worked for Ed Bassmaster, we did a fake Star Wars 7 set leak video.
Yes.
And we shot it there and we used all the props. So I was really happy that they used the giant rat head because we used the giant rat head in our thing.
Obviously, we have Rancor here.
And then I shot Justin Silverman did a music video for someone there, and I helped film the music video there. So I filmed
so
in all those
cool.
rooms. Like, oh, I know that layout, that corridor.
Nice.
So I really enjoy all the stuff inside the Terrifier.
Yeah, I gotta go. I want to go there.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. For a minute, I thought you meant you got to go now. I'm like, we're only on what? We're in the middle of a thing, Casey. She gets her friends to take her there, and the one guy.
Well, because she gets a fake phone call.
Right.
The little pale girl.
So Art can't talk, but apparently the pale girl can talk
Yes.
and pick up the phone somehow.
Yeah, use someone else's voice.
Yes.
There's also a part before Jonathan goes into the house when he's going home. He sees the van with the little pale girl in it.
Yeah.
It is not the little pale girl. It is literally because they did have to get that little girl had to get what's it called when they
Oh,
put the stuff
the
on your
mold,
face.
the cast.
She had to do that, and I think that's when they used it because it looks so strange. Because what else would they have to?
I don't know.
She probably couldn't like work those hours or something. So they
Yeah,
used that.
probably with kids. What?
So they probably used
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I was gonna say real quick. You said about voice changing.
Yeah.
I don't think you watched it yet, but I remember in Scream 3, the killer has that
Yes.
voice changing box. Are you like me, where you're like, how the hell does that work? I mean, it makes sense now with AI, but back then you're like, how the hell does that work? Casey, I did a bonus video on the Scream 3 assembly cut, and there's a whole deleted scene that shows you how he does it.
Cool.
But since they didn't want to spoil the killer, Ghostface is at a computer in the costume doing this. So you have to think the killer puts on the costume. He's like, I'm doing bad guys. I think that's why they cut it out.
Yeah.
Because they knew people were going to be curious about
That
the
was
voice
wise.
box, but they're probably laughing at the fact that Ghostface is on a computer in the costume.
Yeah, that's something out of Scary Movie.
Go back and check that video out, though. And my Fox TV cut of Scream 2. I'm the only one who has a copy of it. I recorded it when I was 12, and I just never got rid of it. The censored for the cursing
is
is really
special.
funny.
I love it.
So yeah, there's like this big. Most of the movie takes place in the Terrifier, and we're learning stuff. Where like, there's a reason Sienna's dad drew the angel and gave her the sword. Something
Right.
was calling to him to do it, and we
Yeah.
find out that like, so whatever demonic energy is making Art do all this stuff, there is a reverse energy for Sienna. Because she dies at one point and literally just like a Valkyrie, a warrior angel gets resurrected.
That's the coolest scene.
I kind of like this shit. This is not stuff. This
I
feels
love it.
unique for slasher films.
Oh, I love it.
Occasionally you get a super powered person who fights Freddy or
Mm-hmm.
Jason. Well, mostly Freddy. You got like the Dream Master, the Dream
Right,
Warriors.
right.
And then Jason, you have Carrie. The girl who can move things with her mind. Not really Carrie. She's basically Carrie,
Yeah.
but yeah. But you don't really see that too often. So I'm like, oh, I kind of like that they don't need to put this much lore in it, but I
Right.
appreciate that they are, because that is like what's keeping me invested in this series. I'm
Me
like, I kind of want to
too.
see where this is going. And I like these characters now. I like her brother. I like her.
Yes. And yes, so the
Yeah.
friends take her there though.
Yes.
And
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we've got to circle back to that. The boyfriend.
circle back.
The boyfriend, he's like me. He really needs to pee, and he'll just do it anywhere,
Anywhere.
but he picked the worst time to do it.
Oh,
And then that girl's death in the bathroom was pretty rough.
it's bad.
Again, Art is very brutal.
And you know how they got the bubbles, right, on the face?
know how they do that?
Condoms.
Oh, that makes sense.
So, because
So many effects are used with condoms,
I know.
by the way. In the
That's what
original,
I'm learning after all these.
the original Last House on the Left, when they pull the
Reviews.
girls' intestines out, it's just condoms tied together.
Ew, that's gross. But yeah, apparently, like Damien Leone was on the side, like blowing into something, and it just activated them all. That's so cool.
That's cool. Yeah, so that's a pretty brutal death, but I love the fighting between Art and Sienna.
Oh, it's so good. I'm like, that is so bad.
And then she's got like the fire sword. Again, on paper, if I was
cool.
reading a script, I'd be like, what? This is so stupid. But when you see it in the movie, you're like, no, I'm digging this.
And
I'm
he
liking
whips
this.
her.
Huh?
He whips her.
Oh, he beats the shit out of her.
And like she's protecting her brother.
Yes.
That's why I just wish there was a little bit more. Like, just a little bit more backstory in the
Well,
beginning.
for me, going into this, I was not expecting any. I was expecting like the first movie where I'm like, I don't really care about these people. So just the little bit I got was
Yeah.
really, really nice.
Good.
But yeah, and then it ends with her decapitating him.
And she wasn't gonna do that scream. Like,
Yeah.
that wasn't in the script or anything,
Yeah.
but that's what she felt in the moment.
Oh yeah,
So they kept it.
Gotta do a cool scream.
It was so good.
So she decapitates him. They leave the body there. Should not have done that. These people have never seen a Halloween movie. They leave the body there. And then it ends, but like it flashes to whatchamacallit. After she decapitates him, the little pale girl takes the head away and disappears. Yeah, so the movie kind of ends there, and then there's a mid-credit scene. Mm-hmm. And again, as the movie ended, I went, where was Chris Jericho? Yep. And sure enough, there's Chris Jericho at the Miles County Psychiatric Ward. Mm-hmm. This is when we circle back to Vicky, who is doing weird art in her cell. Her makeup looks way better in this. And going forward. I mean, obviously, you have a better budget. It's going to look a little better. Yeah, she's drawing stuff with blood. They check on her, and she gives birth to Art the Clown's head. Because remember, she is also now like demonic and evil. And I guess if he dies, he could just be reborn through her. Mm-hmm. And then it smiles. Yeah. It smiles
and
at her.
that girl, the nurse or whatever, is the Clown Cafe singer.
Oh! Yes. Oh, wait, I think I did see that in the credits.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good cliffhanger to end on.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
This one, I can see why people like this one. I like this one. As someone who was lukewarm on the first Terrifier, I really dig this. Mm-hmm. I agree with Ian. It's too long.
It's way long.
It's too long.
I agree.
Could have trimmed it down a little bit. But no, I appreciate the lore building. The cinematography is really good in it.
The writing got a little better.
Yeah, the writing got a little better. The acting has gotten better.
Oh,
yeah, this one pretty much fires on all cylinders. I think it's just the length. It needs to be trimmed down a bit. But
I think it's solid.
It's solid. It's really, really good. And this is the one that blew it up. Suddenly you have Art the Clown in Spirit Halloween. Art the Clown is everywhere.
Everywhere.
Again, I saw him in Astronomicon. He had a pretty big following. And then we saw him after this movie came out, and their lines were very long.
Yeah, I remember seeing them the first time at the Showboat. Really nothing there. And then now.
I always talk about, like, I should have got his autograph, but
we will. I think
no. Going back in time. Who's blanking on his name. Who's the guy who plays Glenn in Walking Dead, the Asian guy? He's like in everything.
Oh God,
Steven Yen.
Steven Yen?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember years ago I saw Steven Yen like the first season of Walking Dead. He had like no line. We chatted with him. Like, I should have got his autograph because he is like gigantic now.
Yeah, he's a Nope and everything.
I remember he asked me if I watched the show, and I went, nah, shit's boring. He laughed at what I said.
Yeah.
And it turns out I was ahead of the curve because most Walking Dead fans I know, they're like, yeah, after season 2, it got real boring. I'm like, why are you still watching? They're like, gotta know how it ends.
That's so funny.
No, you can tap out. I've tapped out of a lot of shows.
Well, David Howard Thornton, he does follow me on Instagram.
Oh, he does.
Yes. And I did get to meet Damien the last show. Remember, I was like mustering up the courage. Yeah. And then his line, it was only cash. And I waited. And I had no idea it was just cash only. So I get up there and I'm like, can I at least just talk to him? And Lay's like, okay, just make it quick.
Yeah.
And so I gave him one of my books. And I just told him. Nice. I don't know.
So yeah, it is now a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Again, it's taking the world by storm. Everyone is like, I gotta watch Terrifier 2 unless they're named Tony from Hack the Movies. Then they're saying, I'll get to it. And then they released Terrifier 3, which again, I knew it was coming out. I didn't realize people are like, oh, Terrifier 3 coming out in 2 weeks. I'm like, oh.
Right.
That's how
it was an anticipated movie of mine, so I knew it was coming.
Yes, but that's how out of the loop I am with this series. I just conveniently keep missing it. And I know so much like horror stuff and follow so much horror stuff.
Yes.
But for whatever reason, my algorithm just doesn't feed me too many Terrifier things.
Now on TikTok, whenever I see a Terrifier, I like it so I can see it more.
Now, to be fair, on Twitter or X, my algorithm was kind of dominated for 2 months, mostly concerning the fight between Vito and Mint Salad and Riley. That did take up a lot of my feed. Oops. So yeah, I can see how I missed a lot of this. So yes, Terrifier 3 comes out.
Terrifier 3!
I didn't plan to review this. I just wanted to see it in theaters because everyone was like, hey, this is doing really well. It's going to be this big thing. And again, for indie filmmakers, it's opening the door for a lot of them.
I know.
Maybe I'll make a movie, Casey. I don't know. I was supposed to, and I was supposed to make several films, and a lot of curveballs got thrown at me.
Anything can happen.
But after seeing this, I'm like, all right, I'm kind of really more motivated than ever. But I just wanted to be part of this. I'm like, all right, I missed out on the initial Terrifier wave. But like 3, it's gotten even bigger. I'm like, let me see this one.
It's huge. And like I wanted to go opening weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I had to.
Yeah.
Because that's the best weekend that you have to go.
And also, it's really funny that Warner Brothers, they did a movie about a clown that made $1 billion. And then a week before this movie, they released the sequel. Joker 2. Joker 2 was a
bomb.
Monumental flop. I mean, I saw that one in theaters too. So it was kind of funny. I'm like, I wonder if this little indie, not little anymore, Terrifier. I mean, it's still little compared to a lot of other stuff. But yeah, it made it profited more money than Joker 2. It dominated the box office. And again, for it's basically unrated. It's NC-17. Like, theaters used to just not carry those movies.
Tony, our screening had children.
Yeah.
And without parents.
Yeah.
I remember trying to get into an R-rated.
Oh, wait. No.
Yes.
There's a story about this.
What?
Okay. I know what they're doing. What? I used to do this as a teenager, and I can't believe it's actually working. But I think it's because theaters don't have as much security, and they're understaffed, so kids can get away with it again. So this movie came out called The Wild Robot recently, this animated kids movie. I saw some report. Let me know if this was fake, but I think it was real. People realized The Wild Robot did really, really, really well around the time Terrifier 3 was doing well. So I think kids are buying tickets for. This is what I used to do. I would buy tickets for a PG-13 movie, and then because they didn't have assigned seating, me and my friends would sneak into an R-rated movie. So I think a lot of kids are doing that.
Well, I did that and got caught. I'll never forget it.
Oh, I did. Oh no, I would get caught occasionally. We tried to do it for the first time I tried to see Freddy vs. Jason. We bought tickets for.
Mine was the Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake.
Oh yeah, we bought tickets for that Brittany Murphy movie, Uptown Girls.
Oh, cute.
Security found it. We didn't have to see Uptown Girls.
We did buy it. We bought a ticket.
Yeah.
I got my money back.
They don't want to get yelled at by a parent.
Right.
Yeah.
But also, I was 18 at the time, and I got a ticket for my friend who wasn't 18. She was 17. No, this is different.
Okay.
This is a different time. And the guy at the counter, he let it slide, and he said perks for being cute. Yes. And then when we got to the door, because this was at the barn, when they did have the ticket people, they wouldn't let it happen because he made sure. I know, even though we just bought it.
Yeah.
Anyway, cut to, this is beyond the point.
Yeah.
That next Monday, our substitute teacher was that guy who said perks for being cute. How awkward.
That is very awkward.
Anyway.
Hold on, I'm trying to think of any perks I've gotten for being cute. None.
Stop.
You ever been pulled over by a cop?
Yes.
How many tickets have you gotten? How many times have you get let off with a warning?
Hey, this is a bad example because I have not had good experience. I didn't have good experiences.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. They said, oh, Daddy's not going to get you out of this one or something. It's I don't even live with my dad. Hello.
Yeah, the cops around here, they're bored.
No, that was in LA.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. No, because I grew up actually in Philly, and cops there, they're we have other stuff to deal with. Here, going 2 miles over the speed limit, that's a problem apparently.
Ugh,
and the
I just
cop
got my
talked.
heart rate up. I don't want to talk about it.
Anyway, Terrifier 3.
Terrifier 3.
So yeah, I wanted to be part of this movement, the Terrifier movement. And again, I like 2. I watched it the day. Well, actually, no, funny with 2. I think I told you I started watching 2, and then my sister went, me and the twins are going to Sesame Place. So I watched Art the Clown machine gun all those little kids or adults pretending to be little kids. And then I went, all right, pause. Let's go see Elmo. I came back. I'm like, all right, where did I leave off?
That's awesome.
So yeah, we went to the theater for it. And you're right. There were a decent amount of people in there. This wasn't opening night. We saw it on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2 days after it came out.
I just was are you serious?
It was funny seeing kids there. It reminded me of my youth. Let them sneak into movies. It's
Yeah.
fine.
But these are different than what we saw. I'm
Well,
just
okay, yeah,
saying
that's
these
the
cross
other
the
thing.
line a little bit
They
more.
are like unrated NC-17. Movie theaters used to just not carry those.
Exactly.
Which was like one of the things that hurt the Hatchet series, right? They wouldn't.
I was just gonna say that.
But I think because the theaters have just taken such massive hits the last few years, they're like, who cares? Put it in. We
Yeah.
don't even care anymore.
Like the Hatchet movies were banned.
Yes. Now it would be fine. Now it would be fine.
That's so funny because as soon as I started watching getting into Terrifier and stuff, I thought of Damien Leone as the next Adam Green.
Yeah. He'll probably even be bigger now because of just like just when he decided to do it. I mean, there were a lot of movies back then that probably were super like gross, and they're like, well, we'll put it direct to video because we won't have to worry about a theatrical run. Hatchet was like in between that era, I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, if it came out now, it'd be gigantic.
I know.
Not that it's not gigantic. There's 4 of the goddamn thing.
Right. True.
So yes, Terrifier 3 story. So the real first scene. We're doing this for the first time. We didn't start over because there's 3 opening scenes. This is the first time we're doing it. So the first scene is it's Christmas Eve, I guess.
Yeah.
Everyone's sleeping. There's a little girl who's excited to see Santa. Her mom is trying to tell her to go to bed. Who is Chrissy Fox, who is Spider-One's wife, who is Rob Zombie's brother.
Yes.
We talked about one of her movies on Patreon, Bury the Bride. Check it out. Join Patreon or become a channel member and see what we thought of Bury the Bride.
Yeah, her work is so much better in this movie.
She's not wearing her bows.
Yeah.
Remember she had like a different set of bows all throughout that film?
Right. I think she's a singer in real life, by the way.
Yeah.
Or something. Is
Probably.
she? Because I think in an interview, Damien Leone does mention that because her scream in this is so good.
Yes. So this little girl is real excited to see Santa. She's not seeing Santa. It's Art the Clown,
Ew.
dressed up as Santa. We learn how he gets this costume later on.
Yeah.
And it's just actually a lot of it is off screen for most of this, which
For
surprised
the children.
me. For the children. Okay, yeah, that's a weird thing. All right, yeah. So Art kills this whole family.
Yeah.
He like kills the dad. I like that the dad is being murdered and she doesn't even hear it at first.
And she's covered in blood.
Yes. It's a pretty brutal killing. He like chops her in the head and we see him find the girl at the end. A lot of people were upset about the kid killing in this, but I'm like, that's not really new for horror though. And you don't actually see the boy get chopped up. You see the aftermath.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Justin from Epic Film Guys, he kind of pointed out, it's like, they're like, oh, you shouldn't ever, because a lot of big horror fans are like, killing kids is wrong. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. And he's just like, the original Frankenstein, the creature kills the little girl. I'm like, this has been a thing for a very, very long time. But for me, it's helping me. I'm like, yeah, he doesn't have rules or limits. He's like, everyone is fair game to me. I don't care.
Even animals.
Because I remember Kane Hodder said like he didn't want Jason to kill any dogs. Like he refused to do it. I guess he didn't watch part 2 where they find that mutilated dog corpse.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a very fun, gruesome opening sequence of him
cool.
just going to town on that family. It really sets the Christmas mood.
Yes, Christmas spirit.
Also, this does feel like Cindy Lou Who, where it's like, Cindy, that's not Santa.
Yeah.
That's clearly a killer, you idiot.
You're
But
so right.
Cindy was 2, okay?
Yes.
No
And-
more than 2.
And then he cleans up the plates where the cookies were on or something. But he takes like a bite of the cookie and that cookie looks terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I needed like a more appetizing cookie. He just crunches it and I'm like, those were stale as anything. Ugh.
By the way,
Yes.
I still have the Cindy Lou Who wig.
Oh, yeah.
I might need you to be Cindy Lou for the twins. They make us read a Cindy Lou book all
I would
the
be
time,
honored.
all year long. Well, we'll
I
see
used
how it
to
happens.
do that for a living.
We'll see how it happens because they also really like the Grinch, and I dressed up like the Grinch last year, and nope.
Oh, gosh, no,
Nope.
he's scary.
That was the same thing. When we went to Sesame Place, they looked at Big Bird. I don't know if you saw the video. They looked at Big Bird, but they did not want to get anywhere
Oh, I
near
need
him.
to see
They're like,
it.
we need to look at him a different. I'm like holding Gabby, and I'm like, all right. She's looking at him. I'm like, all right, let's get closer. She goes, no.
Oh, they're so cute.
Anyway, oh yeah, that's the funny thing. There's 2 characters in this movie with my niece's names, and I'm like, ah. So yeah, Art kills his family. Good opening. Then we get the ending of 2. We get to find out what happened at the end of 2, where the most unlucky cop in the world goes into the Terrifier by himself.
Right.
I feel like after he finds body 1 outside, he should be calling for backup.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I need backup. Something's fucked here. I would never in a million years go in there by myself. So Art's body can just get up. For some reason, the head needs to be taken away and reborn, but the body could just get up and walk around. The body kills the cop and then wears its head.
I think there should have been a scene. I think there should have been at least a shot of the sword in this scene.
Oh, that has to be a deleted scene.
I hope
We'll talk about it because that is like a weird thing. Yeah, because in the previous film they left the sword they used to kill him there because I guess they don't watch slasher films. So yeah, then we get to look, the fucking glove is already ripping. So yeah, then we see the aftermath of the insane asylum, which it actually is funny watching these in like a row because like the first movie's super low budget, then it picks up where it left off and it's a nicer camera, and then the third one looks even nicer than part 2.
Right.
Poor Chris Jericho. He stumbles on the rebirth of Art and he gets killed by Art's head.
What are they eating? Like, it just looks so weird.
I think she's eating the cord that he was birthed out of. Yeah. It's gross. I don't approve of it.
That's gross.
So yeah, for whatever reason, Vicky is like tied to Art, and the brother explains it later on. So yeah, they leave the asylum together.
I love the scene when they show up at that abandoned place.
Yes.
I think Art looks so cool, and they're ready to get to business.
Yeah, they get to the place where he has all his stuff that he was building. Maybe that's where he was in the very beginning of Terrifier 1.
It is.
Yes. And you know what, Casey? At this point, I walked out of the theater. I walked out of the theater. I walked out of the theater at this scene because I really needed to pee. And then I thought it was funny. I'm like, if I post a picture, because it had the time on the poster. So I'm like, if I post a picture, I'm like, I just walked out. I baited everyone on my socials. Where it was like, I just walked out of Terrifying 3, but then the reply was, because I really need to pee. The movie's good, going back in. But some people just saw the first post and they're like, why? But I realize when I do it to Instagram, it forwards it to Facebook, and I didn't leave a reply. So all my Facebook fans they're probably been wondering for weeks now why I hated Terrifier 3 and walked out. So yeah, she like, because I missed this part, she like slits her wrist.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the tub.
Yes.
Because she's like, telling herself in the mirror, she's like, no one's gonna F you anymore. No one's gonna like you, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then like a little light bulb goes out completely when she dies in the tub.
Okay. Maybe that's like the remnants of the real Victoria leaving. Is that what we're supposed to believe?
I like that.
That's what I think. And then I saw the aftermath of this, but then Art sits in the chair and it's supposed to look like Black Christmas.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah.
Oh, you didn't see it.
They go back to
trailer,
it. They go back to it though.
Oh yes.
When they find him. Which go back to, was it last year? No, the year before we did what is the worst Black Christmas?
Easy.
I mean, it's real obvious which one is the worst one, but watch the episode. It was really, really fun. But I like that homage to him sitting in the window. So then we get 5 years later. Sienna has been in an insane asylum the whole time. She's now living with her aunt and uncle. We find out Jonathan, for some reason, he didn't go to the insane asylum.
No. He wanted to start anew.
Yes.
So he went to Rutgers College. That's what I'm assuming it is, because the Scarlet Knight was there.
Oh, yeah. Did they not say what it is?
No.
Oh, yeah.
It's Rutgers. It has to be.
Feels like it has to be. I know these are all fiction.
Why? I don't know.
These are all like fictional towns, but it's one of those where it's like, it's kind of that. So yeah, he moved on with his life. I guess Sienna went through more shit than him, and also came back as a fiery angel. That probably confuses you a little bit. It's her aunt and uncle, her aunt Jess, her uncle Greg, and then they have a daughter Gabby, who's like super loves Sienna. It's like her favorite cousin ever. Idolizes her. Reminds me of my cousin's kid who thinks I'm the coolest guy in the world because I'm on YouTube and I have to keep telling him, like, it's not as cool as you think.
Yes, it is.
When you're on my level, it's not glamorous. I think you think it's glamorous, but I don't even have the plaque yet, so we're good. So yeah, she doesn't really know what happened to Sienna.
Right.
But she's interested to find out. She made her like a cool little room. I guess she's also artsy.
Yeah.
Looks like a Lisa Frank painting in there.
That's super nice of them to take her in too.
Yes. So yeah, Sienna does have Survivor's Guild. I think that's what she has.
Yes.
But okay, so there's like a weird moment here where she hallucinates her dead friend.
I love this scene.
Yes.
I loved it because they're eating dinner at the table, and then they're having a conversation and they're having Chinese food, and then you keep hearing this voice like, can you pass the rice?
Yeah.
And I kept thinking like it was just an audio thing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they really should have fixed that. And then it cuts to the hallucination. I'm like, that was so good.
Okay, hey.
It got me.
I like this. I like this idea. It's the only time they do it.
It is. It never
I'm
comes
like,
back.
that would have been cool to have
Her being in it a little bit more too.
or just the other dead
the
friends.
Mom, like
Yeah, just anyone. I'm like, why did we only do it that one time?
true.
I'm like, thought that would have been cool. Because I've seen stuff where it's not the most original idea where like the survivor is visited by like the ghost or hallucination of the person who died.
Pet Cemetery.
Pet Cemetery. I know there was a if you ever watched the Hannibal TV show, I think one of the seasons opens up where you're not sure if the girl died. Like a spoiler, you're not sure if the girl died because she's there the whole episode and you find out she's been dead the whole time. So yeah, there's stuff like that where like the person hallucinates.
But it was effective.
Yes, it was effective. And I really liked it. I was excited to see what else they did with it, and they never revisited.
And they just play the song again in her head.
Yeah.
But I like that.
So that's what she's struggling with. She's struggling to like reconnect with her brother, fit in with the family and all this. Meanwhile, Art's just been taking a nap for 5 years. She's been asleep for 5 years. How long was he going to stay asleep if those guys didn't show up? Would he have just been there forever? So a cleanup crew shows up to the wherever they're at. Most unfortunate cleanup crew ever. But I like how he tells a story of someone who killed a bunch of people there, and then he's like, I made it up. They find Victoria's body in a tub, which is gross.
Oh.
Yes, and the guy's getting like all closer to her.
To get pictures.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Zoom.
Come on.
Zoom. I mean, now if that was me, I wouldn't take a picture. I would just be going, and then I'd run screaming.
I would leave.
And then I'd drive 10 miles away, and then I would call and be like, there was a body in the place.
Right.
Go find it. You guys take care of it. If I see a dead body in a building that I didn't know was supposed to be there, or if I did know, I don't know why I would know it was there, but I'm running away.
Yeah.
I'm running away. I'm getting out of there as fast as I can.
Yes.
Instead, he's like, there's a body down here. Oh my God. So he dies.
Yes. And then the other actor is, I don't know his name, John Abrams.
Okay.
He's from like Scary Movie.
Oh, okay.
I remember him from the movie Prime with Meryl Streep. I love that movie.
I didn't see that one. I do like when he's trying to wake up Art, and Art's got like cobwebs on him.
Yeah.
He's just like frozen.
He was recharging.
So yeah, he kills that guy, and Victoria's all about this. She's very excited, a little too excited.
I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed.
I think I was giggling at this scene.
And I'm like, children are here. It crosses the line. You were giggling?
It's fun
You were giggling.
It's fun for kids to sneak in and watch stuff. It happens. I mean, I didn't really have to do that too much. My grandfather would just take me to things. He's like, all right. Famously, hey, Tony, let's go watch Starship Troopers. It's got a ton of nudity and people being ripped in half and cursing. I'm like, okay, I'm 5, whatever, 6. Let's do it. This would be one thing he would make me walk out of the theater for. If something like this happened, this might have been a little too much.
Yes.
But again, they don't have to care about like ratings and whatnot. They're like, fuck it, we're gonna go for it. And they don't technically show it. So
yes, they do.
They don't show it
You
going.
know what she's doing.
No, you do, but you don't actually see it go into it. That would be, I feel like that would be the line.
That would be. Okay.
So yeah,
And Art goes naughty.
yeah, he's mad
Is it
at her
this
for
or
it.
this?
I think it's this. Yeah. So yeah, Art has a whole workstation that he's practicing with. He's got his nitrogen, his liquid nitrogen. He tests on rats,
Yeah.
which is fun. But yeah, he goes out and about. He finds a Santa.
Yeah.
Art is really into Santa, apparently, who is Daniel Roebuck,
Yes, and he's going to be at Monster Mania. We need to meet him.
who, of course, everyone knows from that Munsters movie.
That's what I'm going to have him sign. I loved him as Grandpa Munster.
And Clint Howard's there, too. And I'm like,
Yep.
oh, I love Clint Howard.
When I lived in LA, we went to the same CVS, him and I.
Clint Howard commented on my Buffalo Bill dancing.
Yay!
When the Buffalo Bill house shared my video, he commented on it.
Yay!
I'm like, yes,
It's a good one.
Clint
What'd he
Howard
say?
seen me dancing in the Buffalo Bill house. I
Do you know
made
what he
it.
said?
Huh?
Do you know what he said?
I'll pull it up
Okay.
here. I think he makes a joke about how he'll have to go back and dance now.
Oh, I love it.
I love this whole scene. I love the way that I love that Art walks past the window and it's like, oh. He pushes the girls out of the way to get to Santa.
Hi, yes, that's me. That's me, guilty as charged. Hey,
Santa, it looks like you got a fan.
And everything's going well. People are loving it. And then,
He pushes the girls out of them.
yeah, and then Art pees on Santa.
Oh, I know.
Santas aren't a big fan of that.
No.
They don't like that too much.
You're right.
But yeah, then he, sorry. So then Art ends up killing them. He shoots a bunch of them, and he ties up Daniel Roebuck, takes his outfit, and he hits him with the liquid nitrogen.
And he was so nice to him.
He was.
Calling him clowny or something.
Yeah, and then what's he gonna use for a beard? Oh, he's just gonna rip his face off and use his beard.
Ew.
Oh man. And yeah, he's decided he's Santa now. We missed out on the initial Silent Night, Deadly Night hysteria. It's nice to see that we get this because people were very upset about Art the Clown dressing up like Santa and killing people.
Oh.
And oh wow, I always read stories of people upset about that, and now I get to experience it. That's great.
And Daniel Roebuck, I believe he has a Christian film company. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well,
What?
what are you gonna do?
What?
No, I mean, yeah,
I just think that's cool.
you have to fund it somehow.
No, I'm not saying anything.
Oh no,
bad.
I'm not saying.
I just can't wait to talk to him about that.
So around this time, again, we've only seen this once.
Yeah.
It's not streaming. So around here, Jonathan has a roommate who's hooking up with a girl,
Yeah.
Mia, who is a podcaster, a true crime podcaster, who really wants to interview Jonathan and make him relive his stuff.
Yes.
Freaking true crime podcast.
No.
I can't stand them. Except
Right.
for Carl and Vinny's, because that
Oh, good.
podcast exists to spite true crime podcasts.
But their podcast, because she does it with another girl in the movie, and they
Yeah.
showed a small clip.
Yeah.
The other girl in it is a real podcaster.
Oh, okay.
Because I saw an interview with her and Damien Leone. So I guess he threw her in there.
Who is it? Do you know?
Gosh, I have to look it up. I meant to look it up.
I still get comments on the Scream 5 video for Dead Meat's cameo. When I went, oh yeah, and then I was just watching some YouTubers like, Tony, how do you not know? And I'm like, I've maybe watched 5 Dead Meat videos my entire life. I'm
Right.
sorry I didn't recognize them. My bad.
They refuse to cover Jeepers Creepers, unlike us.
Unlike us. Because I have a lot less to lose. It doesn't really hurt me to review it.
They're like, we will never cover
Yeah.
that.
They're like, there's a lot of people who will, people I know and respect, they are like, I won't review that. And I'll be like, I respect that. We reviewed all 4 at once. You can watch it right now. Jeepers Creepers. What is the worst Jeepers Creepers? Again, it's pretty obvious, but you should watch the episode. It's really good.
I think it's my best work.
I know it's really good because it performs super well.
Yes.
And also, I have since clipped it for the second channel. So if you're like, I want to know what Tony, Casey, and Joey C think of Jeepers Creepers 2, but no other Jeepers Creepers, you can just watch that clip.
Yes.
I also recently clipped all our Omen reviews from the big Omen episode. Which was one of our
Cool.
biggest episodes this year.
Cool. I have to rewatch that one.
So yeah, so that's Jonathan's struggle. Like he wants to move on and forget, but
Yes,
people
which is
keep
the
trying.
total opposite
Yes.
from the second movie.
Yes.
She wants nothing to do with it, and now she's all about it. And
Yeah.
he's like, just come on, we need to move
Yeah.
on. We got to get over it.
Yeah. And she tries to get her mind off it by shopping with Gabby at the mall. And she sees a Santa who is clearly not the mall Santa. It's very clearly Art the Clown looking terrifying. So Art, she thinks she's hallucinating. She gets out of there. And then Art plays Santa. Now, I knew something was going to happen with the presents.
Yeah, and he gave out some good ones.
He gave out some good presents. So I'm watching this whole scene. I'm like, all right, what's going to be the really funny thing in like the package? It's going to be like someone's body,
Yeah.
something like gross. And I like that security kicks him out. He's like, get out of here. Again, Art the Clown. He has everything we love about like slashers. He's
No
kind of
boundaries.
cartoony. He's violent and stuff. He laughs, but he's doing real world violence that our generation has experienced more than any other previous one. So he just does a terrorist bombing of the goddamn mall. And I'm like, oh my God. Like that got me in the
Yeah,
theater.
it did. It got us all.
Because I knew something was going to happen. Because that never happens in a, well, I guess Scream 3, the guy did blow up the house, but that's a different thing. Slashers don't usually blow up shit, really. Sometimes it's like an accident, but no, he literally made a bomb, went to be Santa, and just blew it all up. And I'm like, God damn it, Art. That is fun. And he's laughing afterward.
I wish they could have showed, I don't want this to sound bad, but a little bit more of the aftermath. Because they showed nothing, really.
Yeah, I think they know I think they know what'll definitely get them not to be in the theater. They're like, if we're already playing literally with fire here, blowing up a bunch of kids at a mall so close to Christmas, but like if we show the bodies, that
so close
might.
to Christmas.
We already showed a different kid body. We can only do one dead kid body. We can't do 15.
Yeah.
Sienna then visits Jonathan, and you're right. She's trying to be like, we gotta get back on this. We gotta get back on this. She thinks Art is still alive. Oh, and then she brings up the letters that he wrote her while she was away. And he's like, I don't want to talk about it, but he like wrote stuff. And this is where we get some of the lore. Where apparently there is an evil demon that like has tied itself to. So the pale girl is actually a demon.
Yes.
And the demon, that particular demon, is possessing Victoria, but how it entered the world was by bringing back Art. So after he shot himself, she like reanimated his corpse, and I guess his evil could like bring her in. I guess because you have to like give up or whatever, because she tries to do this at the end. So I guess Victoria was like, oh my God, my face is ripped off.
Yeah.
This is awful, whatever. And so at some point she went into them. I don't know. So there is a demonic force. It's technically Victoria. Art is kind of like its counterpart, really, or like assistant.
Yes.
She's like the brains of the organization. He's kind of the muscle, although she also kills. But so yeah, we learn about that, and then we get hints that like Sienna is probably the opposite of that. And I don't know if we get the dream sequence here, which was cool, but we'll mention it. We get
I love the dream sequence.
We get a dream sequence of like a demonic Art, which All Hallows Eve, the ninth circle short, they show like a demon in the metal thing like hammering, and I'm like, oh my God, he saved that idea for years. And it's chained by like a Mary statue.
The Virgin Mary.
I didn't expect the Mary statue to move.
That was the best part. I have chills.
The statue moving reminded me of
I have goosebumps. Literally.
But the Virgin statue moving reminded me of Old Chief Woodenhead and Creepshow 2.
Oh, I don't know.
Or the statues that come to life at the end of Wishmaster. How like they're very still and then they just are kind of animated.
Right.
Like,
But what was happening was that in this dream, the demon sees Sienna and he's like, like about to attack, but he's Mary has him chained.
Yeah.
And then, oh my gosh, chill. Mary pulls the chain back. And then she like nods to Sienna because in the Bible, Mary crushes the serpent's head. Like, oh, I'm sorry, chill. Like she will
That's
always
the thing.
The devil is the most scared of Mary. I'm just saying, not to get too religious, but the devil is most scared of Mary. Well,
that's the thing. People, I read that whole article. Damien Leone like shared it.
You got to send me this. Please send me this.
I thought I did.
No.
Oh, I guess I sent it to Prison Mike and he was not thrilled with it. I'm like,
I'll talk to him.
No,
but like, doesn't he have a Catholic background?
Damien Leone, apparently I looked into it. I think they mentioned in the article. I don't think he's like practicing any particular thing, but he was raised Catholic.
Yes.
So kind of like me and you.
I'm a practicing Catholic.
I'm a dirty sinner and I will bathe in the lake of fire.
Come on.
Yeah, so there is like a lot of like Christian themes worked in here, which is funny because like so many Christians were shitting on it before it came out because of Santa. But if you think about it, I'm like,
Really?
well, Santa, like they're like Christians are all uptight about Santa. I'm like, yeah, but Santa also kind of takes away of the true meaning of Christmas.
I didn't even notice any people bashing it.
I saw it. It was for a little bit, but now it's kind of turned around. That's why I said it to Prison Blake. I'm like, dude, if a killer clown movie ends up getting people to convert, kind of like The Exorcist and The Omen got people, I'm like, that's going to blow my mind. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
How would this convince anyone? But people are looking into it because they like the lore of this and they want to know where it comes from.
Yes,
So it's getting people
please
at least.
send me that article.
It's getting people at least interested, I guess.
Because that's what I want to talk to him about most.
But there are stuff like, she is angelic, even though Bible angels don't look like that. They look horrifying. They look like wheels with eyes, and they say, be not afraid. It's like, oh my, how could I not feel anything? Anyway, the whole people with wings, that's like a Renaissance thing. But she has like the flaming sword, which is mentioned. I'm like, oh, okay, I see how you can get that in there. And also, it really helps. He is super demonic. He is so evil that you need a good counterpart to it. So again, I like all this lore. I like this. We get a flashback to her and her dad.
Yes, this was earlier on.
Yes,
a little bit.
Which I like because it's like a dream sequence.
Yes.
But we see what happened because he had like a brain tumor or something. We
And-
see him like seizing up, but now we realize it might have been whatever his like.
That's what that was? That's what you think that was?
What?
When he's...
Well, I thought
don't think it was this-
I thought they mentioned him having like a brain thing.
Maybe, but I don't think that's why he was doing that.
Well, I think it's like a little bit of both. Like he had
Okay.
a seizure, but now that she's remembering, it's like, oh, maybe it was something more to that.
What's the guy's name again?
I can't remember his name.
Oh my gosh, from the Lost Boys. But he's going to be at
Yeah.
Monster Mania as well. Got to meet him. I
Crap, I got to talk to
so-
Lena about the Lost Boys
Yes.
episode. Anyway, sorry.
But I was so happy that that's the role he was. Because I know they announced him, and then I'm so glad that he's the dad.
Yeah. And that was a really good scene. That was a really nice, touching scene with her and her dad because we heard about it a little bit in
Yeah.
the previous one. So yeah, she's like, hey, why don't you ever draw girls, like superheroes and whatnot? And he said like, hey, look, this is the past. Disney hasn't bought Marvel yet. Don't worry. I will make them all girls at some point. You're going to get girl Iron Man. You're going to get girl Black Panther, girl Hawkeye.
Is there a girl Black Panther?
Yeah, because the actor died.
So they're making a girl...
No, they already did. It already came out. Black
you
Panther 2
serious?
came out.
Oh.
And they made his sister Lady Black Panther.
Oh.
And in the movie, there's another girl who's little girl Iron Man. Now, you're probably asking if you watch it, oh, is it Iron Man's daughter from that last Avengers movie? No, it's a different girl who's little girl Iron Man.
Anyway.
Anyway. And then Deadpool Wolverine makes $1 billion and it's just two dudes and now they're rethinking everything. So yeah, he like drew the character for her. So yeah, that's cool. I really like that flashback. It really helped me connect to the character a little bit more. I really like her in this. I
Yes,
really like
me
her. She's
too,
getting
and her performance is great.
yes. Wait, like even though the second one was great, this was definitely stronger. So yeah, while this is happening, there's a lot happening here, but Art is just going around killing people. He goes to the college with the chainsaw.
Oh my
and
gosh. But before that, like the podcaster is explaining to her boyfriend, she's just like, I want to interview them because I just want to know what it feels like to come so close to death.
And she's talking about Art. She's hyping him up, and Art's listening, and he's like, "Oh." But then she says something negative, and he's like, "Oh."
Yeah, like I wouldn't sleep with him.
And then Art really likes the movie Pieces. Have you ever seen Pieces?
No.
Oh my God, Casey, you gotta watch Pieces.
Oh my gosh.
That is
Doesn't someone we know have like a Pieces shirt or something? Oh, it was
Kaylee.
Kaylee.
Yeah, Kaylee reviewed it.
Kaylee.
I did a cameo in her
Okay.
review. You really gotta watch Pieces.
Okay.
Pieces is awesome.
I will.
But there's a scene where the guy kills a girl in a bathroom with
Don't
a chainsaw.
tell me.
Well, I have to bring it up for here.
Okay.
But yes, he kills a girl in a bathroom with a chainsaw. So they're kind of doing that. He like kills her. But circling back to the girl being cut in half in the first one and the controversy, I do like that Damien was probably like, well, screw it. I'll do it to a guy this time. This motherfucker. He gets chainsawed crotch first, like the girl, but they show more of it on the guy. Just cut right in half, balls flying everywhere. And then a goddamn theme song kicks in for Terrifier Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's blood everywhere, and Art's making blood angels while there's like, it's a Terrifier Christmas. I'm like, I wasn't expecting that.
So good.
It is total nonsense and ridiculous. All of that crap is going on. Sienna wants to go back to the Terrifier to get the sword.
Yes, which we don't see.
And she does go, but you're right. We don't see it. I'm like, oh, I thought that would have been like a big moment of her.
That I wanted to see so bad.
You got to be
such a great set piece.
You got to get like her digging and pulling it up. It's like,
yeah.
It's like when
come
John
on.
Wick like digs his guns out of the basement.
Yes, you're right.
Yes. I mean, it would be like a Thor movie where like, I'm going to get my hammer back. And then the next scene, he's like, I got it back. It's like, wait, where was we didn't see you pick it up.
Like, even if it's a deleted scene, why did you choose to cut that out?
Yeah.
There's so many other things.
Instead, she's like, yeah,
I
I
had
got
no
it.
idea what was in the box.
Yeah.
I had no
what's
idea.
this? Well, I knew because her hands were dirty.
Eventually.
Gabby calls her out on her hands being dirty. I do like that scene where Gabby went through her journal.
Yes.
Because she's like, yeah, Sienna doesn't like cereal. She's like, can I talk to you?
Oh, yeah.
Because the dream sequence with the cereal.
See, the writing got a little better here.
Yes. Yeah, so at some point, the dad, after the terrorist attack, when she sees on the news, that's when she's like in panic, freak out mode.
From Tom Savini.
Yes, Tom Savini.
Damien Leone idolized.
Yes.
So dreams come true, as we're seeing.
I don't want to take it off because it'll fall.
Okay.
Tom Savini autograph there.
Cool.
And I just talked about Tom Savini with Joe DeRosa on the Creep Show episode. Go check out the Creep Show episode. You like Creep Show?
Yes, the first one. That's all I've seen.
The second one has its moments.
Yes, I'm sorry.
What's your favorite story in Creep Show? What's your favorite part of Creep Show?
Now you're quizzing me. Well, besides the head on the platter,
Yeah.
I like the thing,
The crate?
yes,
ape?
the
Yeah,
crate.
ape's
Yes,
good.
that's my favorite.
I'm so mad because I did that whole episode and then I went to the Halloween place today and I saw they had so much Creep Show shit. I'm
Oh, I
like,
bet.
I could have gotten so much Creep Show stuff. I don't even own the movie anymore. I gave my only copy to Joe Lascola.
Why would you do that?
He has it on every version, but he mentioned he doesn't have the original paper DVD. It's a shitty quality DVD, so that's why I was fine getting rid of it. But then I did the episode, I'm like, oh fuck, I don't have it.
That's so nice. That's so special.
So yeah, the dad, like, they're worried about Sienna. They're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have taken her in. The dad needs to go pick up Jonathan. He gets a call.
Yeah. After Jonathan has like a fit,
Yes.
he literally has like a panic attack.
Yes.
Poor kid. I thought he did great in this movie.
No, he did good. He did good. And I do like when the uncle goes to pick him up, the voice on the phone, it's like him, but it starts to turn into
Yeah.
Vicky, and you're like, I don't like that.
And that kid was a fan of the Terrifier franchise, and he apparently has his own YouTube channel from when he was little, going to conventions, like interviewing all these people. And then he auditioned and he's not even like an actor, but he just like saw the headline or whatever on backstage.
Yeah.
And he applied and he got it. He auditioned and got it.
Good. Dreams come true.
Dreams come true.
You know, there are fans of this show who ended up being on the show.
Yes.
Video Villa. What you call it? Logan and them, they just liked the show. They became $10 patrons. And they were really good. I had good chemistry. What's it called? Gil. That's how Gil got on the show. You know, being a $10 patron. And I figured out who he was. And then Pedro was just really funny at a convention. Oh, rest in peace, Pedro. I miss you, Pedro.
Yeah.
If only there was a way to bring Pedro back to life. I would do it, Casey. I would bring him back to life.
You have to give birth to his head.
Someone out there, give birth to Pedro's head. I do know it was Spawn, so I do know he's in hell. Someone give birth to Pedro's head, find his body, bring him back. We need Pedro back from hell. So yeah, skipping toward the end here, Sienna realizes that Art and Vicky have killed the uncle.
Oh yeah,
tied
this is
up-
where it kind of gets. I don't know if they're mocking Christianity.
Well, they are evil, Casey.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
evil bad guys. Why wouldn't they do it? Like, that's the thing.
I
like,
meant the filmmakers.
no, I don't think it's to show
I
how
don't think
bad.
so either,
It's
but-
to show how bad they are.
Yeah.
It's like Exorcist. They like deformed the Mary statue. It's
Oh
like,
my
yeah,
gosh,
it's like,
yeah,
yeah,
that seems.
it's a
absolutely
demon
horrific.
doing it. That is something that they would do if you believe in demons and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole point is like they know that she's powerful, so they want like Victoria wants to be in Sienna. They want Sienna to give up
Yeah.
and lose hope and like faith and whatever, so
Yeah.
they could enter her, so there will be no counter to Art, and they could just take over everything. I don't know, open the gates of hell or whatever. But they say that Gabby's head was decapitated and rats are eating it, and then they force the rats into the mom, which reminded me of a movie called 3 Dev Adam. Casey, I know you're like, oh, obviously 3 Dev Adam. I know everything about that movie. So, Turkey likes to make films, the Turks. And obviously you're like, yes, Tony, I watch every Turkish film. In Turkey, they don't give a goddamn about international copyright laws. So there are Turkish versions of other movies, and they will literally just steal scenes, like literally footage from movies.
Oh my god.
We should watch Turkish Exorcist one day.
Please, I want to see it.
But there was a film called 3 Dev Adam. It stands for 3 Mighty Men. Get ready for this.
What?
It's about Captain America teaming up with a luchador, and they're fighting an overweight Spider-Man who's a mob boss. I think Spider-Man lost his powers and he decided, I'm a mob boss.
Okay.
And there's a scene where he has to kill one of his henchmen, and he puts a tube on their eyes and he pours guinea pigs down the tube that eats the guy's eyes.
Oh.
Now you're probably like, Tony, doesn't that horrify you? It's not a good special effect. But watching this movie, I'm like, is this a 3 Dev Adam callback where they put
you're
the
the
rats
only one.
in the tube?
You're the only one who found out.
Although to be fair, the new Batman movie, the Riddler did make like a rat tube eating thing.
Oh.
That's why I said, like, that movie, it's too long, but if you watch it in parts, I think you'd enjoy it because the Riddler's basically Jigsaw.
I know.
But no, I was really remembering 3 Dev Adam, which is like this horrible movie, and I'm like, that is gruesome. So like that mom gets it pretty fucking bad.
Yeah, and then they cut the throat and the rats come out.
But then they reveal to Sienna, because again, they want her to give up hope on everything. Like, oh, by the way, that wasn't actually Gabby. We have her here. That was your brother.
Ugh.
Now, are they telling the truth?
No.
I don't think they are.
I don't
either.
think so. I think it's the skull from one of those people in the beginning.
Yeah. I don't think it, because we never get confirmation that it is.
Just his glasses.
Just his glasses. We know that they have him. They definitely kidnapped him.
Mm-hmm.
But whose head is that? I don't think it's actually Jonathan.
I don't think so. And it better not be, because he deserves better than
But
that.
her belief that it is Jonathan gives her the power. But I like, because she hid the sword in a present behind the tree. And I like that she argues with them, because they break her hands with the mallets.
I know.
Her hands are completely destroyed. But she has enough energy to grab it. But she's like, can I open up my present? She's like, yeah, sure. And she uses the sword. She kills Victoria. Gets into an awesome fight with Art.
Yeah.
But Victoria's blood opens up a portal to hell. And Gabby falls. She has the chance to kill Art for good.
Mm-hmm.
But, she's a good person. She's like, I need to save Gabby. Unfortunately, Gabby falls. Yeah. Gabby falls into the pit of hell, and Art escapes.
Right.
So, but then we see that Sienna also now has healing powers, much like Art and them do. Her hands get healed.
Yeah.
And you're right, they did put the rose, crown of thorns on her. And then it ends with Art getting on a bus, which is really funny.
That was cool.
While a girl's reading the Ninth Circle, which was the name of the original short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened to Victoria?
Victoria went to hell. Her body, the blood is what opened up the portal.
Was so
we're left on a cliffhanger. Gabby needs to go, or Sienna needs to go save Gabby. Art is still out there. She no longer has Jonathan, so she doesn't know how to get to hell. So she's probably going to have to meet up with Art and figure out a way to get to hell.
Ooh.
But yes, I really like this one. I really liked it. I
had a lot of fun watching
it. Didn't feel as long as the second one. Was it around the same length, or was it shorter?
I think it was 2 hours.
Oh, so it was shorter. Okay. I think that was good.
Yeah, it was shorter, but not as short as I would have thought it was going to be.
Not as short as I would have thought, but I think it was fine.
Yeah.
Your boyfriend did not think it was fine. He made that very vocal.
He needs to rewatch it.
By the way, I saw you take a picture when you were in Disney at a theater of this.
Yeah.
I was like, is she seeing it?
No, I wasn't seeing it again, even though I tagged David Howard Thornton and he said, enjoy the show. And I was just, I just thought it was so funny that it was playing at the Disney theater.
Yeah.
Because I knew it would play at Universal, if we couldn't go on that Sunday.
Yeah.
But it was at Disney. It was at Disney Springs at that
funny.
theater. And I had to share that it was at Disney. I love that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad it did really, really well. It's about to open up in other countries.
Is it still out?
Yes.
And do you think it'll come back out for the screens for Christmas?
Maybe. Or it'll hit digital. But I know he had to come out and tell the cast and crew, like, hey guys, stop sharing spoilers.
I saw that too.
It's not out everywhere
They
yet.
Literally, the cast was sharing spoilers so quickly. I was
know.
like, thank goodness we saw it. They shared so much.
I
What's
know.
wrong with people?
But yeah, it's a solid time.
I don't know if they're trying to lead that Sienna's the second coming of Christ. I don't know.
I don't think they're going to go that far.
I hope not, because
think they're gonna go
that will cross the
Because
line.
I don't think they're the, not that this is really from the Bible, I don't think they're the Antichrist or the actual devil. So it could just really
I just don't
strong
think they should
angel.
mess with that.
I don't think they will. No, it wouldn't make
I'm
sense.
going to talk to him. I'm going to ask him when we're there.
I got a lot of Bible questions for you.
Hey, I appreciate that head nod from Mary. She's protecting Sienna for some reason.
You know, you would love Wishmaster 3.
Oh.
Where, for some reason, they were like, yeah, let's introduce Christianity into the second direct-to-video sequel of this franchise. And they used the sword from an angel, Michael or whatever. Wishmaster 3 is really bad. It's really bad. I had it on at the office, and like my old boss, Ryan, came in, and like there was a scene that looked like a straight-up softcore porno. And I'm just like, the other ones aren't like this. I wasn't expecting this. If you want some religious horror, definitely check out The Prophecy with Christopher Walken. I don't know if the sequels are good, but that first one's great.
Also, another fun fact. Sorry.
Yeah.
The girl who plays Mia,
Yes.
blanking on her real name. I was listening to an interview with her, and what's so cool was that she was gonna work. She was pre-med or something.
Oh.
So she found it. She loved being in a body horror film because she appreciated it so much. She appreciates anatomy so much.
Yes.
But I think she's also like a dancer and stuff. But
Okay. So now we've made it to the end, Casey.
yes.
What is the best Terrifier movie? What do you think?
Dun, dun, dun. I think the best Terrifier movie is the Terrifier 2.
Okay.
Solid film. I think it's his masterpiece, and I think it's his love, like his child.
Mm-hmm.
But I really enjoy Terrifier 3 more.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that might be my favorite.
Okay.
But I'd have to see it again. But I really do like the second one. I think it's the best one out of all of them.
Well, we all know that there's a lot of people out there that consider the second entry in a franchise to be the best.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's
that's
always
true.
some asshole that'll be like, I like 3 more. And I don't know who these people are that like the third entry in a series more than other stuff. Oh, by the way, did you know I was in The Dark Knight Rises? I was in The Dark Knight Rises. I'm going 3.
Looking forward to the best Christmas ever, filled with fun, smiles, and laughter.
3 just...
As the best?
Yes. I'm going 3 is the best.
Can I say another thing?
Okay.
I don't think the bedroom scene was topped.
Okay.
And I don't think the practical effects were better in the third one. I thought they were much better in the first and second because he was doing them. And I could tell that he wasn't doing them in this one.
Okay.
Just saying.
Well, look.
That's me.
For me, 3 is doing everything I liked from the previous 2 and fixing the stuff that I didn't like. It is more story driven. It still gives you the gore that you want.
Not enough story, though. I want more.
I mean, more than anything's more story than the first one.
True.
The characters are feeling more developed. I'm connecting with them more. I'm liking their journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best looking one so far. It looks even better than the previous 2. I guess you could say some of the cameos were distracting. I was fine with it.
Oh, no.
I don't know, like Art is on his A game there. Like I understand that 2 is probably going to be people's favorite, and that is the iconic one that put him on the map. But for me, 3, I'm like, I'm really feeling this. I really, really like this. Is where it's for me. It's like it's finally finding its footing. It's like Friday the 13th. It wasn't until 3 when they're like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
People like this guy with this mask. Let's continue on this trend forever.
I like 3 better, but I think the better movie is the second one.
No, I'm going to go 3 for both. It's my favorite, and I think it's the best one.
Yes.
Again, it's still a little too long, but
Yeah.
it moves at a better pace. It moves at a
They
better pace.
both move faster than the first one, which is shorter.
Yes. But no, two, and I don't want to say annoy me, but there were times where I'm like, didn't he be this long? I never super felt like that with 3. 3, I was like, maybe it's because the first one I saw in theaters, but I was like really engaged and hyped up on 3. But yeah, so you're going 2.
Yeah.
I'm going 3. Although you said 3 might be your favorite, so we might be secret 3 fans.
Terrifier 3, like I want the merch.
Do you think they're gonna do? He said he'll do a 4th one. You think they'll do a 5th one, or will 4 be the end?
He's got to wrap it up somehow. Can't be 2 hours, so he might have to do a 5th one. I mean, with the way he's telling the story, it's like, come on, just a little bit more. If you only want to do 4,
I mean, he could also just be like, "Well, I told my version. You guys make sequels. I don't care."
He does want to do other things, I think.
Yeah, I know he produced that movie that's out now, Stream, right?
Yes, I need to see that.
I
Did
need
you
to
see it?
Huh?
Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
I have the shirt.
I didn't see it. But yeah, I'm excited to see where he goes with it. I'm now invested in it. If you were turned off by the first one, not that I was turned off by the first one, but it didn't necessarily grab me to make me go see it. Definitely check out 2 and 3. I mean, if you
don't need to see the first one to see those 2.
Yeah, they kind of sum it up enough.
They do.
If excessive gore and torture porn stuff isn't your thing, you're probably not going to like it, but they definitely taken like criticisms of the previous entry and tried to fix them.
Yeah.
In the later ones. But yeah, I have a good time with these films.
Yeah.
I don't like them as much as a lot of people do.
Right.
I did want to mention the glasses just reminded me. And
yeah.
Talk about fans. But Sarah, who's on the show, mostly calls into the wrap-ups. They did like a Terrifier 2 screening and they included like a bunch of fan pictures at the end and like one of her cosplays got in
That's
there.
awesome.
Yes.
Well, that's how they came up with the little pale girl because there were so many Art the Clown women cosplays. So that's
that
how
is
he came
smart.
up with her.
And the merchandising for this really helped them. So that was definitely smart that they did that.
And I personally did a collaboration with Death Comes Lifting, where in 2022 we released Fit for the Final Girl 2. So all of the workouts that I programmed were after the final girls from that year, and one of them is for Sienna. So it's a back day workout, wings like Sienna. Get it?
That's
clever. And I sent it to her that year, and she loved it. So just saying.
Nice. But yeah, I enjoy these. I mean, part of me wants to be in one of these films, but Art the Clown can't ever kill me, Casey. Like, I'm too clever for Art the Clown.
Is he around? Now I'm scared.
I think we could agree. If I was in a Terrifier film, I would definitely make it out alive. And, you guys should just share that to Damien Leone. Like, hey, don't bother putting Tony in your movie. He will just obviously outshine Art the Clown. No, it'd be fun to get killed in one of these.
Yeah.
Damien, if you need cannon fodder for Art the Clown, I have a somewhat following, but I'm also very not liked. People will enjoy seeing my death on screen. Please consider it. Hashtag kill Tony, Terrifier 4.
No, stop it.
You don't want to get
Take
killed
it
by
back.
You don't want to get killed by Art the Clown?
I want to be like Sienna.
Oh, no, I want to get killed by Art the
Demon
Clown.
can't get inside me. No.
If he can kill me. Look, Bane couldn't kill me in The Dark Knight Rises. I think Art's got a lot to work with. But yeah, that is it from us. Thank you for watching this surprise episode that we didn't know we were going to do.
Yep.
I didn't even know I was going to buy all this Terrifier stuff today when I woke up, but here we are.
Terrifier.
I will say, go back and check out. It's on Tubi, All Hallows Eve. If I was including that, that would be my favorite, but that's because I like anthology stuff.
Yes.
But that's not really Terrifier.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Yes, but we will visit it one day.
Yes.
Yes, like, share, subscribe, go to Patreon, become a patron. I was told by Patreon themselves that I need help marketing. So Patreon.
Yes.
Casey, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Casey the Final Girl.
Yes, do that.
Thank you.
And yeah, I don't know how to end this. Hold on. Put your glass.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Right. All right. Let's do it at the same time. Okay. Bye.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.